What's up, guys? Back with the wide body here. Got a little carried away. Brought it in to do some tuning, and then I started looking at the body, and then I started getting annoyed. Like I said in a previous video on this car a long time ago, high school shop class put this car together and took this body kit that's not supposed to be molded on and molded it on and put 9,345 rivets on it. And then stuff like this where the door hits. And yeah, so chipping all this out in my typical fashion. Didn't plan on doing this at all. Like I said, I brought the car in to work on the tune and then got carried away. So got most of that Bondo off, and I've got this side off. And apparently they figured when they made the wheel well, Brian is very proud of his work. Didn't attach it to anything. So yeah, I used to get bad exhaust fumes and stuff in this car and tire smoke and everything else. So I finally just had enough and started cutting this stuff off. But yeah, they put a rivet every 1 inch. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to have to weld all those back up. I'm probably not going to put the wide body on anytime soon back on. I've got 2 stock fenders, brand new old stock. So I'm probably going to throw those on the front for now because I got a lot of work to do on fixing this kit. Like there's a hole right here that's just covered with a sticker. I heard a story that some kid got mad while they were working on the car in the shop class and he stabbed it with a screwdriver. Yeah, I got to take down like the 10 gallons of Bondo that are on this thing all the way around, and then fix some cracks in it and stuff like that and around here. So now my taillights will fit right. And just the shit that's been irking me real bad for a long time on this car. I mean, I've had it for 10 years. They probably put this car together about 25 years ago in a shop class. So it needs it. So I'm going to cut these wheel wells off now. Got into it, and yeah, there was a ton of Bondo I had to chip out of here. Yeah, like inches and inches. I mean, you can see it. So I'm stuck on the bottom. I got to jack this up. I got the tail light out. I got most of this drilled out now. I got to get, they molded this in on the other side. So there's about 1 inch of Bondo in here and then a whole bunch in here. And then I got to chip all this out. So yeah, and then get some screws out of the wheel wells. I think I did on the other side. Like I said, the kids did it. So it's not uniform. So it's kind of just like hunting and pecking through the Bondo to find the screws. So yeah, this is fun. Grab some chisels, some screwdrivers, and so we're gonna start right here. As you can see, I just chipped off a big piece of Bondo, and thank goodness it's Bondo and they didn't do it right with actual fiberglass, because I'd be here for the next month doing this. But yeah, this is part of the reason why my taillights never fit right, because none of this is supposed to be filled in. I got a speed fastener here. I don't know why I got myself into this. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. I've got so many other things to do, but apparently I felt the need to do this today. Yeah, you can see how how much is in here. Let's see if I got any of this separated. There's probably rivets under this too, so I gotta kind of be cautious yanking on this or I'm gonna break it. Yeah, we got a big chunk there. I know there's, well, this is not apparently this is caulk. Let's see, the other side ended like right in here. So let's take a wild guess. This one they didn't do too bad of a job molding. So on the other ones, I can see the seam. This one I can't. I think it's a lot of Bondo. I think. They caulked it too. So I'm trying to find the edge here. I can't tell if that's Bondo or... Oh, they used some tiger hair on this side. I think I found that corner. Yeah, there it is. Now they put one rivet on underneath. I don't know how well you can hear me, or if I'm gonna have to cut this audio. I don't know if I'm blocking the camera. So this is all silicone. I'm hoping there's not another rivet hiding up here. There is, right there. Look at that. So I gotta get the drill. Drill another one of these out. Just like that, she popped. Oh, there's probably some under the gas door. I didn't even think about that on this side. Let me see underneath. Doesn't look like there's any underneath here, but we got a ton of silicone down here. I'll chip that off while I'm at it. Yeah, there's a ton of Bondo in this thing. Awkward angle here. These wheel wells are so bad. This is full of dirt now too. There's gotta be a rivet somewhere. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just stuck. See if there's some screws in the wheel well. Nope, just a bunch more silicone. Oh, the fun. Probably take this. Oh, there's a lot of silicone. They didn't silicone the other side, so this one's proving to be a little tougher. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's a Phillips screw. There's all kinds of random stuff in this thing. Unfortunately, I'm probably like sucking on the mic here because it's folding forward. But I gotta jack the car up. There's a couple rivets underneath. All right, I get the screws out of the wheel well. The bottom of that was just all super seam sealed with 2 screws in it. So banging and prying, and let's see. And we're off. Boy, it's a little more difficult trying to hold on to that and film. Oh, there's so much dirt and shit in here because hoses, apparently. Because they didn't really do the wheel wells right. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. And the car always filled with dust too. Oh yeah. Look at this beauty. 100-piece wheel well. So we're gonna get this side cut out. And then I guess we'll move on to the front for now. After I get that cut out. Oh boy. Gonna have to tin that in. Obviously. Awesome. I got this piece that I randomly found, and it fits in here pretty good. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna have to do this in a couple pieces, unfortunately, but it is what it is for the amount of metal I've got and stuff like that. But this piece fits in here fairly well, so I'm gonna get this kind of on here. This is kind of tough without 2 people, but so I'm going to start it here, get 1 tack, just like that. And then I'm going to work my way down, get a bunch of tacks. I'm trying to do this seamed as well as possible, so I have not much grinding to do. I don't like grinding. And always remember, grab a hammer, close this up as good as possible. Even if you got to hold it. You'd think I'd use some of my anti-spatter. But I'm making the seam as, oh, I don't know how well you can see from there, but as tight as possible, so I don't have to mess around either. And then we're just gonna tack, 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 tack all the way down, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the inside. And this one I'm going to cut off because it's pulling in on my fender. But that's why you leave everything tacked, and then you can just like that. It's off. See? Then, like I said, push up, tack it in. Like I said, I don't like a lot of work, so I'm trying to make this as tight as possible. It's a little more tedious, but it's less work in the end. And it always welds better when you don't have a giant gap. Either way, this is 100 times better than before. So this is going to hang off a little bit. I'm going to have to trim this down. So I don't have to grind it later. So we'll get this top. Now, like I said, it's the tedious zap, zap, zap. Basically like that. And I'm going to get a couple on the inside here. And then this isn't going to move anymore. And we're going to give that a couple taps in. Same deal. This isn't going to be as crazy in here because it's just going to get seam sealed. But I should have brought my light over. Now you can see it's not going anywhere. I'm not going to get a bunch of dirt in the car like I did before. So yeah, I'm not going to record this whole process, but we'll come back when I finished it up, show you the finished product. And we got this side pretty much done other than seam sealed. Gas doors in, it's all sealed up for the most part. Fixed a bunch of holes back here and around here. Well, got to the other side. It's a lot worse than I expected. There was a ton of Bondo in this corner, and it was all caved in, and they just filled it with Bondo instead of pulling it out. So anyways, we have the body to go over this. So I just decided, well, screw it. We'll cut the whole thing off, and we're going to box this in, and then I'm going to make a bolt-in standoff for the corner of the kit here that just comes off of here and then down, and then has a tab with that I can remove, which, I mean, whatever, it makes the car super easy to work on. But you can see how much Bondo was in this quarter. That's just a piece of it that I chipped out. I'm going to chip the rest of this out, so I got something to weld to. I got this piece all spec'd out that's going to plate right in here, that whole thing. So this is all going to get plated solid along with this, and then we're going to plate this down as well and back in, because this originally had a piece that went down here and attached to this, and you can see it's all gone. So structurally it'll be stronger than it was. I mean, there was nothing bolted to this, and this is how the quarter panel was. They just flopped around. So we're gonna get this all boxed in. I'm gonna get this cut out and start tacking this together. And I got it all boxed in. Also put all these back on because they were gone, as you can see. So taillight will actually bolt in now. And so the proper way, this is where we're getting at, of doing wheel wells when you do a wide body is you don't, everybody just cuts these out, folds them over, bangs them up, pie cuts the hell out of them, and folds them up and then welds them. And then you have a bunch of pie cuts in here. I mean, the real thing is put a piece of metal in, you know, suck welding this in, but this is all getting seam sealed. But you notice it's nice and clean, stuff like that. It's all getting seam sealed. So I got this piece in here, like I was saying, and boxed all this in right on the inside all the way down to the bumper. It's all boxed in now. And we open this wheel well out. So there's a method to my madness too. So this is all opened up like this. And I got this muffler on here, and it sounds terrible on this car. So what's actually going to happen eventually is the way that this comes out at an angle and then cuts back and everything else, I'm going to put a big giant MagnaFlow on here that fits in this entire spot. And we're going to come right out the side of the fender with a 4-inch back here. 3.5 inch the rest of the car, and then 4-inch over the axle back for now. Because I don't know if I can actually, well, I could probably fit 4-inch all the way down this thing, but no need. 3.5 is good. But this is where we're at. We got this all primered. We're not going, like I said, we're not doing the body work on this thing right now. I was fixing these wheel wells and stuff and giving the car structure back and fixing it so my taillights fit, stuff like that. And I don't have fumes in the car, tire smoke, all that stuff. That's the one thing that this car did, is it filled up with fumes and smoke and everything else. You do a burnout, the car would fill up with smoke and stuff like that. So it's all sealed up now. So the last stage of this, other than throwing some paint on it, is seam sealer. So we're going to be taking some of the seam sealer. We're going to be going all around where I welded, everywhere. Along here, probably going to seam seal, yeah, hold the camera, right? Seam seal all along this edge, everything. So everything's going to get sealed up like factory. All the edges that have been welded. And like I said, too, as I forgot, I had to rebuild that whole corner, which was awesome on this side as well. I didn't go crazy with grinding the welds and stuff because the body actually covers that. So I can't hold on this camera and seam seal. So we'll come back with it all sealed up. Well, I got a little carried away and got the body back on. So we'll go down here, check it out. Like I said, it's all seam sealed, rubberized, undercoated, and sealed up. So, like I said, the body's on, and the wing holds down with a fastener there, hides everything. I'm going to have to fill those later. Like I said, we're not doing body work right now. Just sealing the car up. And there's this side all done, seam sealed, rubberized, undercoated completely. All kinds of room for the muffler now. And like I said, I'm either going to come out here, yeah, zoomed way in, might come out like right here, or maybe do a boom tube underneath. Not sure yet, but I mean, that'll be to be decided at some point here. And depending on what I'm going to do back here, I'm probably going to be doing a RX-8 rear subframe. So I don't want to go too crazy yet. I got to find my bumper bolts, get a few more bolts, screws for these taillights, because now I actually can put the taillights in as the ones in. And you can see it fits flush now, doesn't stick out. I got to get one more screw for that side. But we're looking good, way better than it was. And yeah, my doors won't chip or cut up. I'm probably going to do something a little different here. I might cut this whole seam out later, weld a small piece of metal in here, and then have a fastener up here and here. And then I won't have anything in the door gap anymore, because they hit bad and chip up constantly, and I got to touch up the paint. That's one thing that drives me crazy. And then this rear bumper, whatever they did here, they made it all jagged and craziness. You can see I made a line. I'm probably going to cut it and round it off so it follows just like the taillights, and recap these eventually. Because, yeah, that's terrible. like I said, I'm going to round this off. I'm going to follow the same body line and get rid of that too. And that should make the rear end of the car look way better. So I'm going to finish bolting this up and get this thing out of here for now, because I got a bunch of other projects to get onto. This kind of took its own turn and got a little out of control, but it was much needed. And like I said, I've owned this car longer than any of my cars, and it does get neglected very badly. I didn't even really drive it last year. I put the new ECU and stuff in, digital dash. I think Aubrey drove it more than I did, and I still got to tune it and stuff. So we'll drive it a little more this year, because it'll probably be a little more comfortable, not filling up with exhaust fumes and tire smoke and everything else. And I probably have a little more fun driving it. So anyways, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Do your wheel wells right. That was kind of the point behind this, because that was the issue, that it never got done right like 25 years ago. But I can't blame anybody. It was a bunch of school kids. They didn't really give them any guidance, like that whole rear quarter full Bondo. They should have showed them how to push the dent out mostly, so they didn't put a gallon of Bondo in the thing. But it is what it is. And yeah, so till the next one, guys. Thanks.